a loyal following that resonates with her journey as a millennial mom, dedicated wife, and entrepreneur. She specializes in creating relatable content that captures the real ups and downs of modern family life. The joyful chaos of raising 5 kids to the everyday triumphs and challenges of being a stay-at-home wife. Let's welcome her to the stage, Olivia Parker.
Hello, everybody. Good afternoon. Afternoon?
Yes.
Great. For my moms in the room, you guys know we never really know if it's morning or afternoon, so thank you so much for that confirmation. Well, thank you so much for that intro. I guess I can skip my intro. She did such an amazing job on that. Just give me 1 second. Okay, so we are going to jump right in. Okay, so I guess I can skip my introduction because she did such a great job, or we can just briefly touch over it. So hi, my name is Olivia Parker. I am a full-time content creator, UGC coach, social media influencer, and a lot of your favorite brands next all-in-one production team. I create relatable content showcasing all the ups and downs of motherhood, and I use my psychology background to target pain points of my audience, and I use that to drive sales for a lot of large corporations that we love and use on a daily basis. I have a combined view of 300 plus million currently, and I'm currently sitting at over 532,000 followers across all platforms. So that's a little bit about me. Here are a couple of the brands that I have worked with. You may recognize one or a few of them. It is a constant growing list, so this is just some of the partners and clients that I work with on a continuous basis. But I didn't just wake up one day as a 6-figure influencer. I wish it was that easy. I actually did wake up one day as a single mother. At 19 years old, I had my first baby, and she really lit up my life. I didn't realize that I could experience love so deeply until I had her. And coming from an abusive relationship, it was very hard to pick myself back up. And I would look at her every day and just want the best for her. And that's when I really started to realize, like, I have to work on myself to give her the future that I feel she deserves. One day I was coming home from work. I worked downtown. I went to school for social work and psychology, specializing in mental health and addictions. And I was talking to my mom, who was my biggest supporter. I don't know where I would be without her. I was talking to her on the phone, and she's like, yeah, I picked up Aaliyah from school. Everything's great. She had dinner. She's gone to bed. And the minute she said gone to bed, I was like, I'm losing so much time that I can never buy back. And I remember that drive home like it was yesterday, because I cried from the DVP all the way to Ajax, thinking about how am I going to continue this cycle with my child? I'm missing out on such monumental moments. And that is when I created my digital empire. So Mompreneur University is not my final step, but a stepping stone that I use to educate moms on becoming digital bosses, earning money online, or at least earning money passively so that you're able to make the decisions that you want. For me, I wanted to be able to decide when I could have more days off, when I could have more vacation time, and to me, financial freedom was the only way out. So I welcome you guys to the Mom Boss Mini Masterclass. This is just a small taste of what I offer in my private Mompreneur University community. And I also offer a ton of videos and tips online. I strongly believe in connecting with people one-on-one. So when I'm done this presentation, please grab me. Feel free to pick my brain, ask me as many questions as you need. That is what I'm here for today. This is going to be a quick guide on how to take your content to the next level and get paid. Because ultimately, that's what we want. Like, making videos is cute, but where's the money? Yes. So I'm gonna ask you guys to help me with a quick icebreaker before we get started. I'm a big icebreaker girl. And I need your help to spread a message. So I want you to look at the person right of you or left of you, a stranger in the room, and I want you to say, you have the power to inspire others.
have the power to inspire.
You have the power to inspire others.
You have the power.
Now I want you to look to another stranger and I want you to say that you are capable of amazing things.
You are capable of amazing things.
Thank you so much for that, because I was going to come down and kiss all of you guys individually on the cheek, but I feel like this activity was a little bit more appropriate, so thank you for that. Okay, so we're going to start strong. This is where I always start with my mentees, and that is having an abundance mindset. If you do not have an abundance mindset and you do not believe that there is enough room for everybody, you are not going to succeed at anything. It is something that you have to accept, that there are multiple people in this room, but there is only one path that is destined for you. There are a few affirmations that I live by, I repeat on a consistent basis, and that is, there are enough resources and opportunities for everyone to succeed. Anyone that agrees, raise your hand. Okay, good, we're on the same page, great. The world is full of possibilities, not limitations. Those who agree? Great, we gotta believe it. Can I get that? Do we agree? Ah, I love that, thank you. I am only in competition with the person I was yesterday. Correct, can I get a confident hand raise? Period, thank you. So now we're gonna get into the juicy stuff. Do you wanna be an influencer or do you wanna be a content creator? Or do you wanna be both? So for me, I do both, but there are some people who prefer to influence, which means they're speaking to their audience and they're influencing people to do things. And then there are some people who just wanna create content. They just really wanna create the content, give it to the brand, and the brand runs off with it and does whatever they need to do. So don't ever feel like you have to be out there, you have to do what influencers do. There are so many options in this content creation world. I want to focus a little bit on the power of storytelling and taking your audience on a journey. So I have been able to grow my platform very, very quickly, very rapidly, and I think it's because I do a good job at sharing my story. I allow my audience to come on certain activities with me, certain adventures, and they feel like a part of the process. Me performing up here today is actually a process that I have been taking my Instagram followers on as well. So they're very excited to see that I indeed did not fall or throw up or get nervous and cancel. Your voice and your perspective matter a lot more than you think. I think, has anyone in here ever heard the term, what one man's trash is another man's treasure? Raise your hand if you've ever heard that. Great. So that actually applies to your content and your life as well. What you may think is boring, regular, nobody would want to see that. You would actually be very surprised at how that insight can change another person's life. And since I became a mom, I really focus on how can I elevate the world for my children. Stories connect people and help build trust. So you want to be able to share, it doesn't have to be personal moments, but experiences with people. That could be what you experienced with your vitamin C lotion, what you experienced with your toothpaste. Why did you switch your toothpaste? Maybe you wear a certain type of shoe for a certain reason. Maybe you have back issues. Everybody has a story, and it's very important that you're able to connect with your story so that you're able to share that with your audience. The key is to think of everyday moments as a journey. So nothing is too boring because I don't live in your house. I don't get to see you when you wake up. Maybe you have a different morning routine. Maybe you don't have kids. Oh my God, I'm obsessed with people that don't have kids. What are you doing with your time, girl? Like, you got so much. I want to see what you do. Where do you shop? Do you go out? So these moments are what set you apart and create a loyal community. Nervous, nauseous, naked. That is what I live by. And. Because if you are not feeling nervous, or if you are not feeling naked or nauseous, you are not doing it right. You have to feel vulnerable, uncomfortable, because it's the unknown. We don't know what's going to happen. I could post a video today, it could hit 50 million views, or I could post a video today and it hits 10 views. We don't really know, but the point is that you want to feel vulnerable and get used to that feeling of feeling vulnerable. Anything new is going to bring fear. It's going to bring, you pulling yourself back from experiencing that vulnerable experience, but you want to make sure that you are always living in your feelings. It's fine to feel nervous. It's fine to feel nauseous. maybe not so much naked all the time, depending on where you're at. So we're going to get into a little deep dive on building a strong foundation. I believe that there are basic back-end logistics that everybody who has social media should abide by. This is just in case you do happen to have a viral video and you have CP24 News hitting you up saying that they want to buy your coverage, and you got Colgate emailing you saying, hey, what's your rate? Send your media kit. And you're like, damn, I'm not prepared for this. So before all of that amazing stuff happens, there's a few things that we got to focus on. The first one is having a professional bio and page aesthetic. It's very important that when people land on your page, they're able to feel or see something that is related to what you're talking about or your niche. A professional bio helps people quickly understand who you are, what you offer, and what you would like in return. Oh, mic check? Okay. So here is a screenshot of my Instagram profile. I use this as an example with a lot of my mentees, and I use a specific formula. So when it comes to my following versus followers, not a lot of people know this, but you should only be following 5 to 10% of your followers. Which means if you have 1,000 followers, you should not be passing that 5 to 10% mark on who you're following. And I'm going to explain to you why. When people land on your page and they see that you're following 5,000 people and only 300 people follow you, it eliminates your social value. And this is something that I don't hear a lot of coaches talking about because they don't want to seem too materialistic when it comes to bio, but it is the truth. And it is what a lot of companies really look out for. So you want to make sure that, one, you are offering enough value where people are following you and you're not obligated to follow back. I only follow those that are in my path and giving me creative incentive or teaching me something new. I don't just follow my cousin that was twice removed and I only see on Christmas. I just feel like it is, so be very mindful of your following versus followers. If you're trying to get into the business realm, whether you're starting a business or you want to be an influencer or a content creator, be mindful of your following versus followers. When a new person lands on your page, you only have about 3 to 5 seconds to impress them. And you having that gauge between your following and followers really shows to the stranger that's on your page that you have value, you're offering something, and people are following you. Next, we're going to move over to the bio picture. So I have a consistent bio picture across all my social media platforms so that my followers are able to easily identify me. When I pop up, it's very consistent on Facebook. Oh my gosh! Very consistent on Facebook, very consistent on Threads and YouTube, etc. Next, we're going to move on to the actual bio. And you want your audience to know exactly what you do and what you offer within the first 3 to 5 seconds, like we talked about. Not only does that go for your audience, but if you're in a position where you want to be an influencer or a content creator, it should also speak to brands. So if a brand lands on your page, they should be able to see that, hey, she has 250 plus million views. That's a selling point to a brand. I also have my info at mrsdrosario.com. You always want to have your email in your bio. It is very, very, very important. And lastly, I have a link in my bio. This is considered a call to action. What do I want people to do? So when you find me on social media, what's next? You watch my videos, you laugh a little bit, you might cry for me in some videos, but then what? So I have my Stan store, which we're gonna get into later on, in my bio so that people are able to access all of the services and all of the things that I offer. Next, we have a breakdown of one of my mentees. This is her page. The first screenshot is before she connected with me, and the second screenshot is shortly after our first one-on-one call. Now, I'm gonna give you guys 2 seconds, and I would love for somebody to let me know one thing that stands out between these 2 screenshots.
The following.
Perfect. And does it give you an instant, a different feeling, right? This person has value.
Yeah.
This person's offering something and people are following. She's also described herself aesthetically with emojis in her bio, because us girls, we love a little cutesy, little emoji goes a long way. And she has her info at antiquitieskitchen.ca. And can I tell you that less than 48 hours after her making this bio change, she got 3 brand deals. She was blown at how easily she was able to receive brand deals just for adding a professional bio in her, a professional email in her bio. So these are a few things that you guys can think about. It takes a while to build a perfect bio. Don't put too much pressure on it. Keep it simple, keep it cute, and keep it informative. Next, we're going to talk about building your social media portfolio with items that you already have. I cannot explain to you the amount of times that I've heard people say, I want to be an influencer, I want to be a content creator, I'm going to run to Sephora, or I'm going to run to the mall and buy this and buy the newest thing. You already have what is going to make you so much money in your home. Okay, so if anyone in this room has a toothbrush, raise your hand. Great. If anybody has body lotion, raise your hand. Great. What body lotion do you use? Anything that's on sale. Is that relatable? Great. So you want to start by creating a list of things that you have, plus the things that you need, and start there. So what I do when I first started, I created a working list on Notion, and I walked around my house. And I look for things that I absolutely cannot live without. What kind of toothbrush do I use? What is my go-to hair gel? What is my first cream that I grab? There's a reason why. My Keurig machine is my life. I hope Keurig heard that. I cannot live without my Keurig machine as a mom, so those are the places that I started. And I built a working list of brands that I already have and use and love in my house, found them on social media, and started to become besties. That is the best place to start. Because I hear a lot of people, a lot of content creators that are like, okay, I'm ready to start pitching. I'm gonna start pitching to brands, because you know, brand deals is obviously the outcome that a lot of creators would like. But the truth is, a lot of brands are overwhelmed by the amount of people that are reaching out to them for free stuff. You gotta show a little bit of value, and the number one way to show your value with brands is to treat them like you organically love them. So when I'm talking to brands, it's always from a supportive mindset. So we have one side over here that's like, hey, I create content, my package is $3,000. Do you have a budget for this? Versus somebody that says, hey Keurig, I cannot live without coffee because my 5 daughters actually drive me insane, and it keeps me sane for the day to make sure I have my coffee. Having a Keurig in my house has added so many aura points to my entire family. Two completely different vibes, still the ultimate outcome because the brand still has to find out how much I charge, what my rates are, etc. But it's not as abrupt. It's more, how can I support you as a brand that I organically love, versus here's my media kit and here's my rates, I'd love to work with you. My most viral video did not require any fancy stuff, and I think you guys are going to be shocked at this slide because it shocked the hell out of me. I woke up to Facebook 2 days ago to this notification from Facebook, 73 million views in less than 30 days. And I think it's really funny because I want to mention that I grew 151,000 followers on Facebook in less than 60 days. I was able to monetize my Facebook, and I'm actively getting brand deals for my Facebook in less than 2 months. And I have not posted anything on Facebook. I'm gonna let that sit for a minute because I know you guys are like, what? You said it's on Facebook. I did not organically post anything on Facebook. I have been repurposing my content, and I don't hear a lot of coaches talking about this either. As a mom, I suffer from a lot of easy burnout. Sometimes my husband, God bless him, my husband, manager, videographer, emotional support. But even when he asks me to do simple things, I'm like, sir, I don't know where my brain power is, but it is not with you today. I am tired. So do not look at me as a mom of 5 and think that I have this supreme power and time to show up on social media. I use a lot of AI and I use a lot of automation systems. And this is what I try to teach all of them, not just moms. I speak to moms, but I work with all types of creators. But this is what I try to teach my mom creators, that you don't have to show up 6 times a day on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. We are tired, okay? We are exhausted. you can show up consistently on one platform, and you can actually use a platform called Repurpose to repurpose that content from one platform to all the other ones. It's integrated with AI, very easy to use. I absolutely love it. If you want access to that platform, all you have to do is DM me the word repurpose on Instagram, and you will get an automatic message with the direct link. I know we're very short on time today. I wish that I could talk about this all day. I do this all day and night in my sleep. I'm gonna give you guys some quick takeaways, some quick tips for a clean and clear aesthetic. And I think that these are just the basics when it comes to creating content, whether you're creating content in your stories, whether you're creating content for your customers, even for your family. I really try to get my mentees into the mindset of putting a standard on your work. So the first thing is using your back camera. Get used to it. The back camera has the best quality, and it is a little bit of a journey to get used to, but there are a ton of tools on Amazon, which I also love, to help you assist with filming from the back camera. So for example, I have a little tripod attachment that I stick on my phone. It has a mirror on it, so that when I'm filming with my back camera, I'm able to see what's on the screen. So there are a ton of things that you guys can utilize so that you can use your back camera for a better quality. The minute I increased my quality on social media, that is when things really took a pivot. Brands specifically, as well as your audience, can really appreciate when you put the time into giving them a quality experience. Next, when you are using your front camera, please mirror your content, because I love that you love to see yourself when you're recording. I love to do it easy. It's easy. But sometimes if you're showing me a product, it's going to be backwards. So for you, you feel like you're talking about a product, but for me as the consumer watching it, I'm unable to read from left to right. So if you are using your front camera, just make sure you go into your settings after and mirror that content so that your audience can read what you're talking about. Use a grid for better angles. Has everyone seen the grid that's available on your video? It's a bunch of lines that goes this way and this way. Use that. There is a strong purpose for the grid, and it allows you to keep things aligned. So I usually use the grid to line up with the top of my videos, and I want to make sure that everything looks like this for my audience and not like this. You want to use natural lighting as much as possible. We would all love to get the fancy lightings, the fancy raw, but natural light gives the best look. If you can get in front of a window with some sunlight, that is the best content that you're going to produce. So try to use natural light as much as possible, and adjust the lighting temperature for ambiance. So if you are an iPhone user, if you hold your finger onto the camera screen, a little sun will come up. If you swipe that up and down, it will increase and decrease your exposure. So if you're in a vibrant area, you want it to feel vibrant on camera. If you're talking about maybe a late night bubble bath with a little wine, then you might want to bring the exposure down a little bit and set that ambiance for your audience. Next, I use a high converting formula when creating content. I'm going to skip through this because we are cutting short for time and I want to leave a little bit for questions. But this high converting formula is available in my free guide. If you DM me on Instagram the word free or the word guide, I'll send it right over to you. Essentially what a high converting formula is for every video is starting with a strong hook, then identifying a problem, then offering a solution, which is usually the product or service, and then you want a call to action. What do you want your audience to do after watching the video? I'm going to take 2 seconds to touch on the power of B-roll. So as moms, as you guys know, we don't have a ton of time to show up the way that maybe another creator who doesn't have children shows up. And I think that's something that we can all identify with when we see somebody else who just seems like they have more time. It kind of gives you that feeling like, I'm out of the race, I can't compete. That is not true. The power of B-roll is so important to content creation. You don't have to go out of your way to record anything crazy. B-roll could be a matter of me having a tripod with my phone right here, recording 10 seconds of me talking on stage, adding a trending sound to it, putting a relatable caption, and this is where a lot of people are like, I'm not I'm not relatable. I can't come up with relatable captions. Pinterest is my #1 driving source for relatable captions. When I'm lost or I'm just having a brain fart moment, I turn to Pinterest, I type in relatable mom quotes, and the first thing that pops out to me is probably going to be relatable to a lot of other people. So that is what I use, and then I'll make my caption a little bit more catered to how I'm feeling and what's going on for the day.
Okay.
Here's an example of one of my recent posts. This is a B-roll post. So my husband took this, my daughter was running to me, we were out playing in the leaves. Very simple, I didn't even know he was recording it. When I went back in my camera and I saw, I was like, oh, this is a perfect B-roll video. I just added a quick caption and I was good to go. So do not overthink your content. But one thing that I would like you to take away from today is to create a content vault. This content vault is going to be a storage of B-roll that you have. So if you know that every morning you wake up and brush your teeth, make up your bed, and vacuum the floor, take a couple minutes to intentionally record those motions. Without looking at the camera, just show a casual waking out of bed, brushing your teeth, vacuuming the floor. Eventually, you will get to a place where you have multiple B-rolls in a content vault. I use an external drive. It is my best friend. I have so many folders: morning routine, night routine, me typing on a laptop, me on the phone, and then again, you can just put a relatable caption, a trending sound, and there is your easy content for the day or for the week. I absolutely love my hard drive. If you're interested in seeing what hard drive I use, you can click the link in my bio on Instagram and it will be at the top. Okay, we're running a little bit tight on time. I told you guys I could talk about this all day. So when you're building brand relationships, you want to be genuine, you want to have a supportive mindset approach, which we talked about, and you want to have clear and transparent terms. This is where a lot of creators mess up. You need to have a contract in place that dictates what your job is and what the obligation is of the brand, because without a contract, a lot of things will loosely just fall through the cracks. And that is how I find a lot of creators burning bridges with brands, because it wasn't clear in the beginning. So even with like my bestie, I'm like, girl, let's write this down. Let's get this in writing. I'm a very big contract girl. It's the one thing that you can fall on if things start to fall through the cracks. Overcome creative roadblocks and stay consistent using ChatGPT. So ChatGPT has been a game changer. Does anyone in here use ChatGPT? Great, not enough. We are in 2024, and I use this brain power only when I have to. We have automation on our phone, on our laptops, in our house, on our Alexa devices. It's time for us to utilize it, and ChatGPT really allows me to show up without utilizing too much brain power. So we are cutting very close for time, but I'm going to stress the importance of this slide. There are 41 lucrative platforms for Canadian creators that you can use to access PR gifts, gifted campaigns, and paid collaborations. You do not need to have a ton of followers. You can be a beginner or an expert, and these are websites that pretty much connect you directly with a brand. I utilize this a lot in my practice. I hope you guys don't think I'm going to give you the list.
Yes.
I'm just joking. If you DM me platforms on Instagram, you will get access to my specially curated list with clickables, URLs, so that you too are able to apply for PR and campaigns. No more sitting back and watching people open 100 boxes. It's your turn. So we are cutting very close for time. I am so sad. I can go on and on and on. I love content creation. I love moms. I love seeing people make money online. Please connect with me after this presentation. I'm going to cut it here. I have a ton of resources on my Instagram, so it doesn't stop when I get off the stage. Please feel free to connect with me. My social media is Mrs. D. Rosario across all platforms. And also, all of the information that is on this slide is also available in my free guide. So if you DM me the word guide or the word free, you'll have access to all of this information at no additional cost. I do very quickly want to say though that having 7 streams of income is very important when it comes to content creation. You cannot just rely on creating content or just rely on brand deals because it fluctuates up and down. So I'm gonna wrap it up very quickly. But like I said, please connect with me after this presentation. Follow me on social media. I am on all platforms. And I will be here again on Sunday speaking at 11 o'clock, so I hope to see you guys there. And thank you so much to the Women's Show for having me. I'm going to be making my rounds. Please use this time to connect with me. And I wish you guys nothing but the best. Content creation doesn't have to be hard. You just have to try.
All right.
Thank you.
Channel, please. Oh, you're a vlogger. Thank you.